Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode, powered by Hayabusa, is about 5 different things that made me a better coach. All right, in today's episode, we're going to talk about 5 different things that made me a better coach. Now, making me a better coach, I have different areas that kind of helped contribute to it. Well, one, I actually went to university for teaching, and I became a health and physical education teacher. So a lot of the teaching skills and strategies that I learned, I implemented into my martial arts training. So with that, mixed with my actual fight experience, mixed with my personal coaches and what worked well for me, these were 5 different things that I reflected about that I think you can benefit and make you a better coach. Okay, so number 1, the importance of pre-planning, lesson planning. Very important. If you're a coach and you're just coming in each day without a plan, your athletes, your fighters, your members are really going to suffer from it. You have to have a plan. You need to lesson plan. So sometimes it could be, a lesson plan could be a single day, it could be a week, it could be a month. I like to teach in units. For example, if I'm working randomly head movement, if I only do head movement Monday, then Tuesday we're working on kicking, Wednesday we're working on clinching, there's no real time to learn and develop. So part of my lesson planning would have a block of unit, right? So I'm working on defense for this month, and then I'll do different drills each day to meet that. But you also have to have a day plan as well, so you're not coming in thinking on the go. There has to be a plan, and pre-planning will just keep the classes going faster, keep people more motivated, and the learning will be maximized, okay? Very important. Now, the second thing that we need to add is understanding concepts, but how do you teach the concepts? So let's go use the example of movement, the head movement. Now, if I'm teaching head movement and just sitting there and just working the head movement, I'm not really learning the full concept of things. Now, as a coach, your job is to break the things down, okay? Yes, learning the actual slipping, the rolling, the bobbing, the moving of the head is one part of it. But as a coach, you need to start thinking about the befores, the middles, and the afters, okay? So you need to start thinking more full picture. And I think this is where a lot of coaches lack. They only think about that one thing. How do you get to that position? If I'm working head movement, how am I getting there? Am I working in with pairing, with my movement, with my footwork? What am I following up with after the head movement? So the before and the after, and putting all the concepts together is very important to me. If I'm just working one concept in any martial arts, how do I get there? How do I escape from there? What are different options to get there? That's going to make you a higher level coach, all right? Now, number 3 is a very important one, especially if you were a fighter before. Me being a kickboxer at the highest level, a lot of times I did martial arts when I was a kid, so I learned a lot of good stepping habits and behaviors really early, right? Kick, return to the stance, right back, good distance control, moving, hand position. These things were learned early, so I expected a lot of my fighters to have these same types of basics. So I need to take myself out sometimes and be like, what I did naturally, a lot of people might not do. So I have to think what I do well and break it down for other people. So that was a big challenge for me to take myself out of it. Now, even with me, I was a power striker, going for combinations, finishing with low kicks. If you're not a power athlete, I can't train you the same way. So I need to take myself out of the equation to make my athletes, my fighters, my members better martial artists, okay? Now, number 4, this one really came to importance when I was a high school teacher. And I worked with a lot of kids with behaviors, with autism, learning disabilities. So it was very important to have what we called classroom management, okay? Now, even with fighters, they're excited, they're coming in, your classes, you have to have some sort of management of the classroom. For example, the most important part, when you're teaching, everyone should be listening. Everyone should be respectful. It's important to have the rules and expectations from your fighters to begin with. If they come in and they didn't know that this was the rules, it becomes difficult. So be very clear with your expectations, how you want your classes to run, and I think that will just make things a lot better. To me, when I'm teaching, everyone has to be attentive. I like another one of my rules, making sure everybody comes in on time. That's another thing. Not getting water. Some martial arts instructors allow members to have waters at any times. With my fight class, I'm very restrictive to water times because I want to get to the next drill. I've pre-planned. I need to get moving on to the next thing, okay? So have your own rules, structures, and routines very clearly outlined to everyone so they can follow and maximize the time of the class and the learning, All right, very important. Now, the fifth and final point, again, from my teaching, this became the buzzword in the teaching world when I was in there, and it's called differentiated instruction. Okay, and that big fancy word basically tells you that when you teach something, everybody learns differently, so you have to present in different ways. For example, someone might be a verbal learner. By me telling them, they can learn. Someone might be a visual learner. Some are more hands-on, so they have to practice my hands-on. So every time I teach, I like to kind of change things up. I might verbally explain it, and then I'll demonstrate it, and then I'll start with some sort of progression drill for everyone to learn. Now, what it also means differentiated instruction is, one, they might be pad work. I might teach block counters on pad work. I might teach block counters as a sparring drill. I might teach block counters as a cool down or a warm up. All different ways to practice it. I might practice it, using paddles. I might using small mitts with tie pads. So there's different ways to practice the same concept. Ultimately, the end goal is to learn the concept, and everyone does it differently, so by presenting it in different ways, the greater chances of everyone being able to learn it. Okay, now my last point with this differentiated instruction, the learning, and this is a good bonus tip for everyone: review what you learned last class the next day. Okay? People forget. We have such short attention spans with everything going on. There's a lot of times I forgot what I even ate for breakfast. So it's nice when the next day you come in, just either as a warm-up or spend 5 minutes practicing what you did last time, and then this way you can kind of keep learning and progressing. If you're just learning randomly every day, you don't have this option to review. Okay? Review and reflection after class, before class starts, all just helps with increasing the chances of learning. All right, so 5 things that made me more successful as a coach: reflecting, thinking, and this is probably some of the more higher level thinking things you need to think about. You might be getting people tired on pads. That's one part of it, but being a coach is more than that. Another point that I can say that I learned from my coach was law of attraction. You have to make people feel confident. There's times for you to be very firm and mean and aggressive, but there's times to kind of build people up. Since the day I walked into my gym at 19 years old, my coach told me I was going to be a world champion. A lot of times I didn't believe it, but eventually you believe it, and then you build that confidence in. So make yourself kind of break them down, build them up, and playing with good positive information will make your fighters a lot better. All right, like, subscribe, share. Make sure you go to all the different support channels. By bazookatraining.com. Make sure you get all the curriculum that I teach here, all at bazookatraining.com. For less than $10 a month, you get over 300 archive videos, and you get brand new videos every single Monday. All right, we got 4 different types of videos you get. Bag work, very important to do. You have home drills, which you can practice anywhere in the world, backyard, in your basement, anywhere. We have sparring drills as well as tutorials. Plus, you see all the gear that I'm rocking. Hayabusa, if you go to the link in the description below, head over to Hayabusa Fight and then pick up your gear. Those T3 boxing gloves, you see me with that double strap, my personal favorite. Last but not least, we have Perfect Sports Nutrition. Using code Bazooka20 gets you 20% off all your supplements. The one that I've been really liking is their Altered State. With my traveling, it's really difficult to kind of deal with the jet lag, the changes of time. So not only does the pre-workout Altered State help me getting back into routine, but when I'm tired for my workouts, it gives me that extra kick. All right, like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next time here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Welcome to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA online training. I'm Bazooka Joe Valtellini, the owner here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Over the past year, I've designed and created a website to teach Bazooka curriculum at home and across the world. The purpose of this website is for you to, 1, hit your fitness and health goals, all while learning world-class martial arts instruction from me. The beautiful thing about this website, it's geared for all levels. So if you're learning martial arts for the first time as a beginner, we help you progress into the bigger stages. And if you're a pro fighter, guess what? We have different fight concepts for you to improve your tool set and your skills in the ring or cage. As the fastest rising kickboxing world champion and a lifelong martial artist with over 30 years of experience, I've been able to combine my passion for martial arts and teaching to create this website. This website's going to give you some of the tricks, secrets, and inside look at some of the training I use to win my world title. Once you subscribe to this site, you're going to be getting weekly training videos and tutorials that you can do from anywhere. The sections are broken up into 3 parts. The first is bag workout. So if you have a bag at home or at your gym, you can use these workouts to supplement your training. The second is at-home workouts. A lot of us don't have the room for a bag or a bag in general, so these workouts are for no equipment needed and you can do them anywhere. And finally, the tutorial section. If you're having any problems with a specific technique or fight concept that's covered in any of the workouts, go to the tutorial section, learn the technique, and then go back to the workout, and this time, do it with proper technique. One of the added benefits once you subscribe is the forums section, where you can get a more personalized experience where you can ask questions and I'll be able to go in there and answer them. It's all about building a team and a community of martial artists helping each other grow. So subscribe now to get access to all the videos plus more so you can be part of the squad here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.